everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Monday, only here on YouTube. Want to welcome you to the July 24th, 2023 Vinyl Treasure Show, where we continue with the Relic survey of countdown of 1958. And we're going to start it off with number 149, but we heard a instrumental from 1958. Opened up with the debut single for this by this instrumental group from Buffalo, New York. They were known as the Tune Rockers. I'm sure you're familiar with their biggest hit. Came out on United Artists Records. It was called The Green Mosquito, but featured their first release on Don Carter and Don Robey's Pet label, the same label that recorded the Gay Knights, the Revelons, the Capitals, some other cool single artists on the label. And that Tune Rockers there from May 1958 on Pet Records, No Stoppin' This Boppin'. It was interesting because I was contacted by, I was showing you a book, this book here with the same title, No Stoppin' This Boppin', Let the Good Times Roll, put out by Bob and Terry Skazuski from Buffalo, New York. It's a really interesting history of the music scene in the 1950s up in Buffalo, and they have he gave me CDs, and he gave me his list of his favorite records and a whole bunch of things here, but about the disc jockeys, etc., Dick Bionde, a whole bunch of things, but I don't know if it's still available, but he sold it to me privately. He had copies, and I think I plugged it on one of the shows there, but if you're interested, I'll see. I haven't heard from him in a while. I don't know how healthy he was, but anyway, it's a good book. It's got some cool information in it. But anyway, there you go, from May 58, the Tune Rockers on the Pet label, No Stoppin' This Boppin'. Let's continue here with the boppin' here. We continue with the countdown here, and actually the next three records that I'll be playing are flip sides of 45s we heard earlier in the survey, and coming in at entry number 149 is the flip side of entry number 202 by the Haven Knights, which was Just to Be in Love. They're a group out of New Haven, Connecticut. This is their second release on Thomas Robinson's Atlas label. It features Leroy Gomez on lead, and that was not his real name, by the way. His real name was Leroy Griffin, but he said, you know what, it's too close to the lead singer of the Nutmeg, so he went from Leroy Griffin to Leroy Gomez. This is from July of 1958, coming in at number 149 with 77 points. The Haven Knights on Atlas Records. It's called Why Go On Pretending.
Pretending. Pretending, why go on pretending?
Why go on pretending? Why try to make me care?
Someone new.
those are the Haven Knights. Haven Knights coming in at number 149 from July 1958. Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label, Why Go On Pretending, with Leroy Gomez on lead. And I remember the first time I heard that record was on I think it was the Best of Atlas Angletone on that Relic LP. And I was working for a company called Transamerica Leasing. I was an accountant doing, it was accounting for their dry cargo containers that you see piled up along the railroads and along the ports there that, they ship stuff from overseas. But so one of the girls that worked for me at the time, her name was Hope Knight. She was living in Yonkers, New York. She said, Johnny, I found some 45s in the attic, but I'll let you take 2 of them. And I know one of them was this record. I mean, it didn't play as well. Well, this record doesn't play that well anyway. It's recycled vinyl. It's got a lot of surface noise. But she had 2 promo copies of something else on Atlas. I forget, but it was this record and something else, but I was thrilled to get it anyway. Let's continue here on the countdown, and we're going to get into some number 1 votes on this show, and I'll be announcing those too. Very interesting, the people that voted on this survey, or the songs that they selected, I should say. But let's go back to Detroit for entry number 148, also with 77 points. It's the flip side of entry number 280 by Nolan Strong and the Diablos, which was their 9th release on Devorah Brown's Fortune label. At number 280, it was My Heart Will Always Belong to You. This is the flip side, coming in at number 149, written by the lead singer Nolan Strong, their 9th of 21 on the Fortune label from July 58, number 148 on Fortune, the Diablos with For Old Time's Sake.
It's too bad we had to break up. Can we try again and darling make up? Can we talk it over again, darling, for old time's sake? It's never too late to make amends. I'm gonna love you until the end. If you love me, say you give in for old time's sake. It makes no difference who was to blame that we drifted apart. Isn't that a shame? We're just 2 foolish people acting crazy and strange, with everything to lose and not a thing to gain. We'll always be more than friends. I'm gonna love you until then. If you love me, say you give in for old time's
number 148 on the survey, Nolan Strong on the Diablos. That plays pretty nice compared to a lot of the other releases on the Fortune label. That's Nolan Strong on the Diablos, July 1958, their 9th of 21, coming in at 149 for Old Time's Sake is the name of the tune. We continue here. This is the third in a row, a flip side from earlier in the countdown, and this group from Newark, New Jersey at number 147. It's the flip of entry number 254. I think I closed the show. I forget the date. It was The Legend of Sleepy Hollow was entry number 254. It was their third of four on Leonard Chess's Argo record label. The flip side is an excellent ballad. It features Charles Patrick on lead with 77 points at number 147 from December 1958. These are the Monotones. The Monotones on Argo Records. It's called Soft Shadows.
Boom, boom, boom.
Those are the Monotones there. The Monotones coming in at number 147 from December 1958. It's on the Argo record label. Soft Shadows is the name of the tune. That is the flip side of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Came in at number 254. Charles Patrick on lead. The ballads are excellent by the Monotones, I'd have to say. I like their ballads better than their up-tempos. I'm sure many of you agree, but that is a very cool tune at number 147. Let's go to entry number 146 for this singer from Macon, Georgia. He had at least 50 top 10 R&B hits during his career, and most of them on Sid Nathan's either King Records, we'll say, on King Records. But his earlier releases were on Sid Nathan's Federal label, had 18 releases on Federal between 1956 and 1960 before they moved him over to the King subsidiary. Now, this is his 11th song, a tune that he wrote, coming in at number 146 with 77 points. Now, there are two different titles on this. So the one that I'm featuring is just a Try Me, and then there's the other title is called Try Me parentheses I Need You, which I think was the official title, if I'm not mistaken. But it's number 146 on the survey from November 58. It's James Brown and the Famous Flames on Federal Records, and his tune called Try Me at number 146.
Try me, try me, try me, darling, tell me I need you. Try me, try me, try me, and your love will always be true. Oh, I need you.
That's coming in at number 146 on the survey with, what did I say? I think it was 77 points. Yeah, 77 points there, November 1958. That's James Brown and the Famous Flames on Federal Records, Try Me. There's the other, that's an alternate title along with Try Me, parentheses, I Need You. But what really made this record popular, the song was featured in a 1993 film. A 1993 film with Christian Slater and Marissa Tomei. Anybody see that movie? It was called Untamed Heart, and they featured that song in the movie. That's where a lot of a different generation heard that song and became popular. It did. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Monday. If I said Wednesday or Saturday, I'm losing my mind. As I did when I don't get enough sleep, I lose my mind. I kind of mess up. That's what happens if I totally mess up. So that's because I don't get enough sleep. But let's continue here on the countdown. Coming in at number 145. This was a Gus Gossard favorite. I remember hearing Gus Gossard spin this 45. It's on Al Tate's Good label. Tune written by Bobby Moore and Jimmy Jones. Yes, Jimmy Jones of the Pretenders and Jones Boys and Savoys and had all those hits, some hits on the Cub record label. It features Butchie Saunders on lead. This charted here in New York, number 34 on WINS, WINS Radio here in New York City, and it comes in at the Relic survey at number 145 with 77 points from March 58. The Elk Chords on Good. It's called Peppermint Stick.
Geez, dandy, to have some candy. Boom-be-doo-be-doo. Geez, dandy, to have some candy. Boom-be-doo-be-doo. Boom, 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 boom. Dandy, to have some candy. To have some candy. Boom-be-doo-doo.
Coming in at number 145 on the survey, Little Butchie Saunders and the Elk Chords, March 1958. Their tune called Peppermint Stick came out on the Good record label. I just played the flip side. Gordy Freeman requested the flip side on Saturday night. Gee, I'm in Love. I played that flip side just this Saturday. But now, for you collectors out there, this 45 was repressed in the early 1960s using original stampers and leftover labels. So it's a little bit difficult to tell them apart, but there is a way to tell them apart you have to look at the wax and how the wax looks. That's the way to do it. Because then, of course, there were other variations that came out. Those are easy to detect as far as the second presses go. That record sold a lot at Times Square Records back in the early 1960s. But let's continue here with the countdown at entry number 144 with 80 points. And this was a number one vote selection for John Leonard of Boonton, New Jersey. This group out of Chicago, a lead singer. The lead singer on this is Willie Wright, who previously was the lead singer of the Serenaders on the Chief label. He co-wrote this tune. They're called the Medallionaires. The Medallionaires with Willie Wright on lead, coming in at number 144 from May 1958. The Medallionaires on Mercury. It's called Magic Moonlight.
Yes, sir. I can make her mine tonight. I'll be so happy. Magic moonlight, I'm so in love. Turn on your magic from up above. Yes, sir. I can make her mine tonight. I'll be so happy. Magic moonlight, magic moonlight, make everything alright. Magic moonlight, hear my plea, I'm so in love with her. Magic moonlight, do this for me. Turn on your magic mystery. Yes, sir. I can make her mine. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy in the magic moonlight.
Coming in at number 144 on the survey, the Medallionaires, a number one pick by John Leonard of Boonton, New Jersey, from May of 1958 on Mercury Records. Magic Moonlight is the name of the tune, with Willie Wright on lead. Let's continue here on the countdown with entry number 143. It's the debut single for this group out of Harlem, New York. Came out on Danny Robinson's Holiday record label. The song written by Les Cooper. Les Cooper also wrote tunes for the charts. Had a big hit, in 1962? Wiggle Wobble, I think, was his hit, that instrumental. But this features Johnny Jackson on lead, coming in with 81 points on Danny Robinson's Holiday record label. These are the Ladders. The Ladders from March 58. It's called Counting the Stars.
Man, met bow. Yeah, pom pom pom.
Counting the stars, they are shining so bright in the blue. Believe me, darling, I love you, I do. Oh, counting the stars. Look at the moon is shining so bright and so clear. Believe me, darling, I love you, my dear. Oh, look at the moon. Some with
That's the cool sound of the Ladders. The Ladders there with Johnny Jackson on lead. March 1958, their debut single on Danny Robinson's Holiday record label, coming in with 81 points, Counting the Stars. I found that out in the wild. I went to somebody, I think I was checking the Penny Saver. I was in college at the time, and I think it was Yonkers, New York. I drove to the person's house. He had a box of records, and there were a bunch of cool records in there. I found 2 copies of There's a Moon Out Tonight by the Capris on Planet, but it was a thinner press, which is not the true first press, but still from 1958. So I ended up, I think I offered him, like $25 for like 145s. He took it, and I walked out of there. I only wanted to look at a few, because if I saw that record and I saw the Capris, I said, and they were originals, I said, I got to buy this. So I did. It's a lot of fun finding records in the wild, especially when you get home and you start looking at them, and then you can fall off your chair. But anyway, if you're new here watching Johnny G on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The show is exploding over the last few months, so thank you all for that, and also for promoting the program. And click the bell to get all notifications when Johnny G goes live. Let's continue here with the countdown, with 82 points coming in at number 142. This is the debut single for this group from Hollywood, California. They had this release on Imogene Fidali's Tender label. Now, the group consisted of Henry Dunson, Ron Ellington, Freddie Flamer, Mitchell Parker, and James Thompson. Collectively, they were known, is that 5 names? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 names. Collectively, they were known as the Five Trojans. We go to September of 1958. This record is as old as your host, Johnny G, on the Tender label, coming in at number 142, the Five Trojans. It's called Alone in This World.
I'm alone in this world without a girl of my own. Everybody's saying my heart's made of stone, but if one was true, really, really true, oh, 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 oh. I'm alone in this world, there must be a girl. I'm so disappointed, my thinking will mine. Heart is blind, give me a sign that you're changing me. Oh, will I knock on your heart on 1st of September? We close the doors on 4th of November. You lock me in your heart and threw the key away. We'll be happy each and every day, baby. You're my one desire. You know you set my soul on fire. Oh, 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 oh,
Coming in at number 142 on the Relic survey with 82 points. Those are the Five Trojans from September 1958. That's on the Tender label out of California, Alone in the World, Alone in This World. I bought that. That was Norm's copy, Brian. You had that ugly sticker on the label. You got to be careful, because if it's easy to remove certain stickers if the label's shiny. You don't have to worry about kind of gouging the label, but you got to be very careful. I think lighter fluid on those other stickers, some are dangerous. That medical tape is dangerous. You have to be careful with that medical tape. It's not easy to get that off the labels, believe me, because they are stuck pretty good. But that's a cool tune. This record would be re-released a month later, just as the Trojans, and they would back up Nikki St. Clair on Edison International, and they have another release in 1959 by the Trojans as Lola Lee. A pretty nice record by the group. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. We are doing the Relic Survey Countdown here. We are on number 141, coming in with 83 points. This was a number one selection by Robert Mergel. Robert Mergel, I think that's how you pronounce it, Mergl, of Patchogue, New York. And it's the Hollywood Flames. They would sign with Leona Roop's Ebb label in 1957. They had 9 releases on the Ebb label. This is their 6th, and this song has been covered by so many artists over the years. First done back in 1940 by Dick Todd on the Bluebird label. This version features Earl Nelson on lead. November 1958 release at number 141. The Hollywood Flames on Ebb, their rendition of the tune I'll Be Seeing You.
I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children carousel, the chestnut tree, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every autumn summer's day, when everything is light and gay. Always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the day is through, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
There you go. Those are the Hollywood Flames, coming in at number 141 on the survey. That was a number one choice by Robert Mergel. Robert Mergel of Patchogue, New York. November 1958, the Hollywood Flames on Ebb Records with Earl Nelson on lead. I'll be seeing you. Johnny G will be seeing you on Wednesday night. If you like the soul music, tune in on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 to midnight. We'll be doing that. Although I don't know if I'm going to be able, I got to have a post put in my tooth there, that molar in the back, number 3 molar. I have to get a post put in. So I called them up. I said, am I going to be able to talk at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, and they said, you should be, because he's going to stitch it up. It should be okay. So I'm just hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I definitely should be okay for next Saturday night. But anyway, let's continue here on Vinyltreasure. Let's go back to California for entry number 140, coming in at 80 with 83 points. And this was a number one selection for Tony Barcia of Brooklyn, New York. Now, I don't have a true first press of this. It's always eluded me. The first press of this, which comes on a small print with no address. So I have the second press of this with large print and a small logo. The group had two releases on Jake Porter's Combo record label. This is their second. They're out of Long Beach, California. It features Arthur Holly on lead, coming in at number 140 from May 1958. Let's give a listen to the Debonairs. The Debonairs on the Combo label, and their tune called Cause of a Bad Romance at number 140.
I'm sorry I was the cause of a bad romance. I come to you with my heart in my hand, hoping that you understand. I'm sorry I was the cause of a bad romance. That you trusted me all the way. So darling, oh what can I say? Except that I'm sorry I was the cause of a bad romance. I didn't realize I'd hurt you. I'll make it up somehow. Please don't go and leave me. Please don't leave me now. So darling, although I've broken the rule, please say you forgive this fool. Forgive this fool. I'm sorry I was the cause of a bad
Yes, coming in at number 140 on the survey with 83 points. That was a number one selection for Tony Barcia of Brooklyn, New York, May 1958 on the Jake Porter's Combo record label, Cause of a Bad Romance. Arthur Holly, the lead singer on that. The group would later record on Doré. You may know their tune Every Once in a While, and I have they had one more on Doré. I think they recorded also as the Jades on Doré. Johnny G here on a Monday afternoon. Hope you're digging on the cool countdown, the Relic Survey Countdown of 1958 as voted by collectors. And if you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about the program. Nobody does a show like this where you get to see the original labels here. Pretty cool, isn't it? We head to Philadelphia now for entry number 139 with 84 points. And this was a number one selection for Todd Baptista of Westport, Massachusetts. Now, I featured this group earlier in the survey at number 290 with their second release for Al Silver's on Al Silver's Ember label called Headin' for the Poorhouse. Well, this is their follow-up to that song. This is their third release on the Ember label. It features Bill Horton on lead, and this was a local hit in Philadelphia, but really nowhere else, unfortunately, from June 58. At number 139, it's the Silhouettes on Ember Records and their tune called Bing Bong. June 1958 release for the Silhouettes, coming in at number 139. Bill Horton on lead. That's on Al Silver's Ember Records. Bing Bong is the name of the tune. That was a number one selection for Todd Baptista of Westport, Massachusetts. There, that's a cool swinging tune, I have to say. That's their third release on the Ember record label. I was looking for the promo, Brian, that I bought because it plays a little bit better than that. I bought that. I think that was Joel Scherzer's copy that I bought for a couple bucks when he was selling his collection back, I don't know, in the 1980s somewhere. But anyway, we continue here on the countdown. Let's go to entry number 138 on the survey. It's by Johnny Maestro and the Crests. It's actually the B-side to their first release on the co-ed label, the tune written by Billy Dawn Smith, and he wrote quite a bit for Johnny Maestro and the Crests, that group, and was also part owner of co-ed, if I'm not mistaken. But this came in with 85 points at number 138. Here are the Crests, and it says with Johnny Maestro. This is from March of 1958 at 138, the Crests on co-ed. It's called I Thank the Moon.
Boom 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 boom, boom boom boom,
yes, it's true when they say that when the moon's inside, it casts a magic light on lovers. I fell in love with you on a perfect night in June, and
kiss and gay love and star. Well, it's true when they say that when love's inside, it casts a magic light on lover. It made you love me too on a perfect night in June. And darling, I thank the moon. I thank the
That's coming in at number 138 on the survey. That's the Crests, Johnny Maestro and the Crests there. That is the B-side to their first release on the Coed record label, coming in with 85 points from March of 1958. I Thank the Moon is the name of the tune. If anybody new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We do this every Monday. At least we're doing the countdown of 1958, the Relic Survey countdown as voted by collectors here. This is going to be an ad hoc show, though, as we're going to have some specials coming up at this time slot in the future. Let's continue here. A rare 45 out of Syracuse, New York, comes in at number 137 with 85 points. The lead singer on this is Jimmy Singleton. Now, he is the brother to Bebo Singleton, who was the lead singer of a group called the Rhythm Cadets, who also recorded for this Vesta label. But this group is called the El Daros. It's with the Ray Paratore and his Rhythm Rockaways providing the instrumentation. We go to August of 1958. It's a hard 45 out of Syracuse to find. The El Daros. The El Daros at number 137 on Vesta. It's called Please Surrender.
Do 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 up, they 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 do. Please surrender. Don't break my lonely heart. You know I love you. Tell me we'll never part. You know I need you.
That's a rare 45 coming in at number 137 on the survey with 85 points. The Daros August 1958 release. On the Vesta label, it's called Please Surrender, and I learned from my mistakes. This is one of the big mistakes I made on this record. I had a chance. Ted Arkowski had a nice mint copy of this record. Now, he wanted $1,000 for the record. Not that I couldn't buy it, but maybe I was unemployed at the time and I didn't have the extra money. But he had somebody in Florida, I forget his name, but the guy in Florida said he was going to buy the record for $1,000 if he could sell his copy to me for $400. So that's what happened. So I ended up getting this kind of VG-ish copy from him. Plays okay, but I would have preferred a mint copy. That was the mistake I made. I just should have paid the $1,000. I should have asked my mother for the rest of the money and bought the record for $1,000. That was a mistake I made. One of the mistakes that I made. I've made a few in my collecting career. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures with entry number 136. This is actually a flip side we heard earlier on the survey at number 153 by a group called the Four Fortunes. Now, this side was voted number 1 by Gerard Ortman, I think, or is that how you pronounce it? Ohrtman, Ortman of Mineola, New York. Now, after the Colts left Vita Records, they signed with Buck Ram's Antler label and became Buck Ram's Antler label, and Buck became their manager. But things really weren't going well with their releases on the Antler label, so the group kind of broke away from Buck. And in December of 1957, they signed with Decca Records and had one recording session where they recorded 5 sides for Decca Records. And the result were 2 singles, though. They left one in the can. And their first song, called Who Cares, came in at the flip side of this, Who Cares, came in at number 153. The flip side comes in at number 136 with 87 points, voted number 1 by Gerard Ortman. I think that's how you say it. If I mess that up, I am sorry for that. But it features Prentice Moreland on lead from January 58 at number 136. The Fortunes on Decca. It's called Tarnished Angel.
Tarnished angel, she's a tarnished angel with a heart made of gold, a tarnished angel, 'cause her heart was sold to a high-flying guy who didn't know what she was worth, raised her to the sky and let her tumble down to earth. She's a tarnished angel, 'cause a man from the start told her tarnished fables, and they broke her heart, though she once wore a halo. Now she wears the ways of life. She's a tarnished angel, and no
Coming in at number 136 on the survey, those are the Fortunes. The Fortunes with Prentice Moreland on lead, January 1958 on the Decca label, Tarnished Angel, a number one pick by Gerard Ortman of Mineola, New York. An interesting thing on the label, this is the green promo Decca label I have it on. It mentions on the label this song suggested by the Universal International picture called Tarnished Angel. Now, probably the theme to the movie that starred, who was in this? Rock Hudson, Robert Stack, Dorothy Malone, and Jack Carson were in that movie there. I don't recall seeing the movie. Maybe some of you out there saw the movie, movie Tarnished Angel, but that's probably the theme song to that movie there. Johnny G here. On a Monday, we continue with the countdown. Coming in at number 135, this group from Portland, Oregon. Their song voted number one by Dennis Ostrom. Dennis Ostrom of Hackensack, New Jersey. This was his number one selection and the group's debut single on Leon Renee's Class record label. It features Elliot Gabriel on lead. Coming in at number 135, the classics from January 58 on Class Records, If Only the Sky Was a Mirror.
If only the sky was a mirror,
my tears would turn to laughter, my heart would beat again. It would be like magic to see your face again.
I know I'll never hold you, but I can just pretend. If only the sky was a mirror.
I don't want a new love, true love or nothing at all.
Just give me my whole love, or the sky
stars come out to see. The blues and I are still old friends and wink their eyes at me.
And as I count them one by one, I pray that I may see her. If only the sky was a mirror. See her.
If only the sky
was a mirror.
January 1958 release there for the classics. Elliot Gabriel on lead, If Only the Sky Was a Mirror. That one there on Leon Renee's Class record label, number 135 there on the survey. That it was a number one selection by Dennis Ostrom of Hackensack, New Jersey. As Gordy Freeman and Joe Shacatano tell me, he was all the voices of the Blue Sky Boys. I have that record, or records. It's on the blue label. Is it Blue Sky Records too? too. I guess so he overdubbed his voice on those songs there. So I have to pull those out to play on the Saturday night show there. But this group would have one more release in 1959 on the Crests label called Let Me Dream. And Ferdy Gonzalez and Marv Goldberg had this release in November of 1957. So I don't know. I just said January 58 to keep certain people appeased. Anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. We are doing the countdown here, the Relic Countdown. This is a flip side. We heard earlier in the countdown at number 223 by the Moonglows. The song was called This Love, which was a solo by Harvey Fuqua, but this is a flip side coming in at number 134, which is actually a duet. It's Harvey Fuqua and Bobby Lester. Now, this was a scheduled release for Chess Records. They were going to put this out, but they never did put this record out. This record never came out on Chess. It was issued, though, on their 1958 LP called Look, It's the Moonglows. I think there was an EP that came from that LP also. But they eventually did put this out as a single, but as a reissue like in the early 1960s, because it comes on this gold with black letter Chess release, which they used for their reissues in the early 1960s. So that's when they put it out, Chess number 1701, but it was scheduled for August 58. This is from, so we'll give it that date, even though this probably shouldn't have been on the survey. That's my opinion. August 1958, the Moonglows come in at number 134 on Chess. It's called Sweeter Than Words. Coming in at number 134 there with 88 points. It says the Moonglows, but it's really a duet there with Harvey Fuqua and Bobby Lester. Scheduled for release on August 1958 on Chess Records, but it didn't come out until the early 1960s. Sweeter Than Words is the name of the tune. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it as we continue with entry number 133 with 89 points. This group out of Detroit, Michigan. Interesting thing about this song is that it was released on 3 different labels. First came out in May of 1958 on Robert West's Kudo label. Well, that, of course, would be the one that would be included on the survey. But in October 59, the song was re-recorded and issued locally in Detroit on the Anna label. Was picked up for national distribution by Leonard Chess's Chess label. And this Kudo release is an RCA custom press, but it's kind of a weird press because there is some kind of, I don't know, hum or something on this. I think all the presses are like that. That's my understanding, and you may hear it a little bit. But the song features a young Eddie Floyd on lead. Yes, the Eddie Floyd that had a soul singer from the 1960s, had those hits, Knock on Wood and others on the Stax record label. He's doing lead here with the Falcons coming in at number 133 from May 58. The Falcons on Kudo. It's called This Heart of Mine.
If you only knew the heartaches I've had, all those lonely nights I've sat along and dread. You're not mine, you may never be, but this one thought keeps haunting me. If I could hold you close, see me in your eyes, warmth of your smile would relieve this heart of mine. Oh, if you should say that you're mine for a day, to love as I may, it would relieve this heart of mine, this heart of mine holds a drum and the earth for your tongue. This heart of mine
Coming in at number 133 on the survey, those are the Falcons. Eddie Floyd on lead, the Falcons from May 1958 on the Kudo label. This Heart of Mine is the name of the tune. They resang that song. The times are different also on the release date. First, I think Anna released it locally in Detroit. Nationally, the record went on Chess Records for national distribution. Johnny G here, spinning the countdown, 1958 Relic countdown here as voted by collectors. And number 132 coming in with 89 points is Willis Sanders and the Embers. Now, Willis previously was a member of the Marshall Brothers on Savoy Records, also a member of the Bells that recorded for the Rama label. Then in 1957, he formed his own group, called them the Embers. This record first came out, the true first release on this was on the Millionaire label. That's on my want list, so when I see that record coming up, I will bid on it. But then it was put out, the 45 came out on Unart Records. They picked it up a couple of weeks later. This is number 132 on the Relic survey. Willis Sanders and the Embers, October 1958 on Unart Records. It's called Lovable You.
Lovable you, lovable you,
Lovable,
you,
lovable, lovable,
you,
lovable you.
lovable, lovable, lovable
I
you.
love you, I love you. Yes, I do. Lovable you.
Lovable, lovable, lovable you.
Thrill me, you thrill me. Through and through, I'll always thrill to your charms, longing to hold you in my arms. For there's no ecstasy been given to me like yours, like yours, lovable you.
Lovable, lovable, lovable
I need you, I need you. Yes, I do. Lovable you.
lovable, lovable, lovable
I want you, I want you. Yes, I do. For there's no one anywhere that could compare with you. Lovable you. I love you, I love you. Yes, I do.
Sweet lovable you,
Lovable you, lovable
you,
lovable you.
lovable you.
That's coming in at number 132 on the survey. That is Willis Sanders and the Embers. I featured it on the Unart label, originally released on Millionaire Records. October 1958, Lovable You is the name of the tune, 132 on the survey with 89 points. I know my mother likes that song. I would almost gamble on that, I would. Excuse me, Johnny G here. Let's continue here with the countdown. Coming up at number coming up at number 131 on the survey with 91 points is this group from Washington, D.C. Now, this was a number one selection for Fred Bond. Fred Bond, of course, the owner of the Attic Record Store in Millvale, Pennsylvania, sold me some records not too long ago. I told him when I start getting my retirement checks in September, I'll be sending him my want list. He's got some records there that I told him to hold for me. But we will be calling Fred Bond up, that is for fact. But many collectors are familiar with this song, this version as done by the Mellow Moods on the Robin label. But this version has a totally different arrangement. So they're completely different. They are. So when I first heard this, I said, wait a minute, that's not the Mellow Mood song, but it is really. And I think actually that's not even I said that can't be the Mellow Mood song, but it is. It's a different arrangement. It features Alfred Robinson on lead. This came out on Ben Smith's Extra Records, coming in at number 131 on the survey with 91 points from the spring of 1958. These are the Four Belaires. The Four Belaires on Extra Records and their rendition of the tune, Where Are You?
Searching, 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 searching. Will I ever find someone who will give me peace of mind? Where are you now that I need you? Now that I want you so badly, I could cry.
Coming in at number 131 on the survey there with 91 points from the spring of 1958. Those are the Four Belaires. Four Belaires on Ben Smith's Extra record label. Alfred Robinson, he's the lead singer. Their rendition of the tune Where Are You? That was a number one selection for Fred Bond of the Attic there. And that record is not an easy record to find. It was a 4-figure record for your host, Johnny G. I bought it from Ken Benedict at one of my trips to Allentown, Pennsylvania. I had 2 big records that I bought from Ken. It was this one, and I think the Lyrics on Rhythm was the other one. They were 4 figures, both of 4 figures for both those 45s. Anyway, Johnny G here counting down the survey. You all know this next group from the Bronx, New York. This is their second single on Bob and Gene Schwartz Laurie label. Comes in at number 130 with 91 points. It's their follow-up to their tune I Wonder Why. This charted number 25 on Cashbox, number 19 on Billboard, number 12 on the R&B chart. Amazing that this was on the R&B chart. Was a big number 1 record on WTRY in Troy, New York, and it comes in at number 130 on the survey from July of 1958. It features Dion DeMucci on lead at number 130 on the Relic survey. Dion and the Belmonts on Laurie Records. It's called No One Knows.
No one knows what I go through, and the tears I cry for you. And when I smile, it's just a pose. My heart is breaking, but no one knows. Friends won't learn the truth from me. I don't want their sympathy. You go to parties, dances, and shows. I still love you, but no one knows. Maybe somehow, sometime, somewhere, you walk by and hear my prayer. My loneliness will fade away. Darling, please tell me you'll stay. But if you should pass me by, I'll be hurt, but I won't cry. And though my love for you still grows, I feel it's better if no one knows.
As Dion and the Belmonts coming in at number 130 on the survey from July 1958. That's their second release on the Powder Blue Laurie record label. No One Knows is the name of the tune, written by Ernie Maresca and Ken Hecht. Ken Hecht wrote that tune there. Was a hit for the group there. Their follow-up to I Wonder Why. I wonder if that made the survey. I wonder why. I think it might have. Anyway, let's move to record number 129 on the survey. This group is out of Brooklyn, New York. They were discovered by band leader Al Brown, and lots of people involved with this 45. It came out on the Champ label. Now, George Golder distributed this label, and Gary Golder and Jocko Henderson, they own the publishing rights on this is G&H Publishing. Now, the song written by group member Billy Galante, it features a female lead. I always thought it was a male lead, but it's not. It's a female lead. Her name is Lily Acosta. Lily Acosta on lead, coming in at number 129 with 93 points. This is from August 58. These are the Roulettes. The Roulettes on the Champ label, and their tune is called I See a Star.
I see a star shining so high above.
Yeah, those are the Roulettes. The Roulettes from August 1958, coming in at number 129 on the survey. They're out of Brooklyn, New York. That's on the Champ label. Song entitled I See a Star. That's Lily Acosta on lead. I think they lip sync that record on Dick Clark's American Bandstand in the summer of 1958. That came in with 93 points. For you collectors out there, the true first press of this does not have distributed by Gone Records. I showed you that second copy that I had that plays horrible. They all play with some type of background noise, but it's used. I bought it from the Count, Bob Ellis. If he's watching, I sent you the link, Count. You should be tuned into the program. But the second press there, I featured it nationally distributed by Gone Records. It's really not second. It's just that it was distributed by Gone Records. I have a second release on the Scepter label from 59. Evan mentioned it as the Singing Roulettes. They do Hasten Jason, which is a much rarer record than this one that you just heard on Champ Records. Let's continue here on the Relic Countdown. Coming up at number 128 is this group from Baltimore, Maryland, first recording back in 1953 for the Jax record label, JAX Records, as Bobby Hall and the Kings, also recorded as the Four Kings, and also on MGM as the Ramblers. Then back to the Kings they went with releases on Gotham, Gone, J-Lo, RCA, Looky, and Epic Records. Now, the group recorded a number of sides for WITH DJ Jack Gale. Now, he was the owner of J-Lo Records, and in 1958 and 59, he sold masters to RCA and to Jerry Schwing, the owner of the J-Wing record label, and put this one out on his J-Wing label, and it comes in at number 128 on the survey with 94 points. It features Adolphus Holcomb on lead. He also wrote the tune, but this record should have been included not on this survey for 58. It should have been included in the 1959 survey. This one released in September of 59, but it's still a great record. The Kings on J-Wing. The song is called Surrender.
Surrender your heart to me. Please bring back love, sweet symphony. I'll be waiting at the chapel to escort you in. Remember the day we first met. Yes, we shared sweet moments of bliss. Remember you not to live like this. Come with me, darling, for a walk down Lover's Lane, where true love can meet again. Yes, come with me, darling, for a stroll down Lover's Lane, where true love can live again. Girl, surrender your heart to me. Yes, because there is something within. I'll be waiting at the chapel to escort you in. I'll be waiting to escort you in.
There you go. Those are the Kings. Adolphus Holcomb and the Kings, probably recorded in 1958, but the master sold to J-Wing Records, and that is Jerry Schwing's J-Wing record label. September 1959, coming in at number 128 on the survey, a song entitled Surrender, but again, that one probably should have been included in the 1959 survey. Let's move to number 127 with this group out of Clarksburg, West Virginia. They would have two releases on the Falcons / Abner record label, and this a subsidiary of VJ Records. Now, this is the B-side to their first release, and this is a number one selection of a listener to the program, Bill Olb of Ramsey, New Jersey, who, by the way, will be doing a special this coming Sunday, July 30 from 4 to 6 p.m. He will be on the Rhythm and Blues Serenade on Hofstra Radio. That's WHRU FM 88.7, and you can listen to it live streaming on WHRU.org, and he'll be doing a special tribute honoring the late Wayne Sterling. So you want to tune into that. You want to tune into that show this coming Sunday. I will be announcing it again on my Saturday night show, and it's going to be in it's a 2-hour show, 2 parts. The first 2 hours will be this Sunday, July. Did I say June? It's July. I told you, my mother's like, you made a mistake. You said June. That's what happens when you're tired, but it's July 30 of 2023, and it will include some rare radio checks, first-time broadcast interviews of Tony Williams of the Platters and also Jimmy Beaumont of the Skyliners, and other various historical recordings and live unreleased songs that you've never heard before. So you're going to want to tune in next Sunday from 4 to 6. That's July 30. I'll remind you again on Saturday night. But this is Bill Olb's number 1 selection here by this group called the Prodigals. And actually the A-side of this 45 was the up-tempo side called Marcia, but Bill voted for the flip side, and it's Another Girl's Name, and it features Chuck Collins on lead at number 127 with from January of 1958. These are the Prodigals on the Falcon label. The song is called Judy. Are the Prodigals coming in at number 127 on the survey with 94 points from January 1958. That's on the Falcon label, subsidiary of VJ Records. That was a number 1 selection by Bill Olb of Ramsey, New Jersey. The Prodigals with Judy. Let's continue here at number 126 on the survey. This group out of Springfield, Massachusetts. It's the group's debut single. Came out on Marty Kugel's Click label, Click Records, was out of New Haven, Connecticut, and Kugel entered into a partnership with George Goldner to have him distribute his Click label. Now, the song written by the lead singer of the group, his name is Major Branch, and this received 94 points at number 126 on the survey from July 1958. These are the Dreamtones. The Dreamtones on Click Records. It's called Love in the Afternoon.
It's love in the afternoon. Two lovers enjoy the scene. That love was made too soon. They called it love in the afternoon. Don't cry, the one you love tells you she's found enough. Just sit under the silvery moon and call it love in the afternoon. Don't let that love that stole my heart and bring those memories of you. Don't take my heart, don't take my love, I died. It's love in the afternoon. The moon gazing at the sun. The sun gazing at the moon. They call it love in the
A rare 45 there. That's on the Marty Kugel's Click label out of New Haven, Connecticut. Mike Sape, have you found many copies of that record? I don't know. And I bought that copy slightly off center from Ralph Barton, another trip down to Allentown, Pennsylvania. I always found great records when I went to Allentown, PA, but those are the Dreamtones coming in at number 126. Major Branch on lead there. That's their debut single from July 58, Love in the Afternoon. It's Johnny G in the afternoon, of course, yes. But an earlier release here, prior to this release, they backed up the Mitlow Sisters, and in 1959 they had a couple more releases, I think on Express and also on the Astra label. I have featured those here on the program on a Saturday night. We continue here. Let's go to Queens, New York, coming in at number 125 with 94 points. This group led by James Shepard, first recording for the Network label in 1955, but they would sign with B. Caslin's Hull label for their next four releases, then hooked up with George Goldner in 1956 with releases on Rama, G, and Roulette. I think possibly at the time of this release, Morris Levy would take over Roulette Records as a payment of a gambling debt that Goldner would have to pay, and eventually lost all his labels to Morris Levy because of his gambling. But the Heartbeats come in at number 125 here on the survey. This is their second of two on Roulette Records from July 1958. James Shepard and the Heartbeats on Roulette, number 125. 5. It's called Sometimes I Wonder.
Sometimes I wonder, oh, will she come home? I'm sad and blue and all alone. Come back to me, don't leave me in misery. I sit and cry. Oh, I know she cares. Why should I lie? It wouldn't be fair. Come back to me. Don't leave me in misery. Down on my knees, I'm begging you, please, come on, back to me.
Love me somebody.
How long can I last, trying to forget the past? It's hopeless, can't you see? Sometimes I wonder, will she come home? I'm sad and blue and all alone. Come back to me. Don't leave me in misery. Sometimes I wonder.
That's James Shepard and the Heartbeats coming in at number 125 on the survey with 94 points from July 1958. That's on Morris Levy's Roulette record label. Sometimes I Wonder is the name of the tune. That's their second of two for Roulette Records. Let's continue here now. And entry number 124, it's on Don Carter's and Don Roby's Pet label out of New York City. I featured a Pet 45 earlier, the opener by the Tune Rockers. We featured that, the opener from 58. But Don Carter, he was a VP of George Goldner's Gone record label, in addition to Morris Levy's sales manager at Roulette Records. Now, everything is connected, if you know what I mean. But Don Roby, he of course was the owner of the Duke Peacock record label. They were based out of Houston, Texas. Now this partnership together, these two looking for new talents in the New York area, and this was one of those groups that they discovered. They were called the Gay Knights. And it's my understanding this is the group's only release. It's with Buddy Lucas and his orchestra coming in at number 124 on the survey with 95 points. I'm featuring it on the Pink promo. It plays the best, in my opinion. April 58, the Gay Knights on the Pet label. This is the B-side of the 45. It's called Angel.
Well, please say you'll be mine forever, yes, and ever. Oh, yes. Please say you'll be mine forever, my darling, till the end of time. Each night I count the stars in the sky. I hope that you are in thrilling
Though you're the only girl I know that ever cared. Don't ever leave me. Don't ever go, my darling, because I love you so. Well, please, forever, yes and ever. Whoa, whoa, yes. Please say you'll be mine. Please be mine.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, coming in at number 124 from April 58. Those are the Gay Knights. The Gay Knights on the Pet label. Angel is the name of the tune. That one there coming in at, what did I say, the number of points there? 95 points for that one. Almost getting up to 100 points now. And people voting for these tunes. I showed you 3 copies of that record. I played the pink promo, and then I showed you the stock copy, and then I've also the West Coast copy, a green stocks, or like the lime green stock on that. But the promos play the best. That is my opinion. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. This is number 123 on the survey, and this was a number 1 selection for Jerry Moran of Bronxville, New York. Now, this one coming in with 95 points. Now, if I were putting together the ballot, I would not have put this one on the ballot, and that's because this was first released on Randy Wood's Dot label in November of 1957. Came out as Crip Johnson and Chuck Jackson, with Chuck Jackson on vocal. Now, Phoebe would release it in 1958 as the Dell Viking and Charles Jackson. And that's the press that I'm playing here, because it is a 1958 release, but I don't think I would have included it. I would have included it in the 1957, but it is a different timestamp than the Dot release. I think the Dot release is 2 minutes and 48 seconds, and the Phoebe... it's different than the Dot. 248 versus 253 on the Dot release. But not to muddy it up again, this was released again in 1959 on Petite, as subsidiary of Phoebe Records, under both Chuck Jackson and Charles Jackson. So if you can digest that, so was this included on the 59 survey? I don't know. I'd have to check. I don't know, but this is, we'll just play it. We'll say 1958 coming in at number 123, and a number 1 pick by Jerry Moran of Bronxville, the Dell Viking, Crip Johnson, but it features Chuck Jackson on lead on Phoebe Records. The song is called Roulettes. Whoops.
I went away a long, long time ago. I left a girl, I left her there to stay. Will she remember me that day when I returned? Roulette, I do, I love you, yes I do. I love you. Roulette, I do. I love you. Yes, I do.
Coming in at number 123 on the survey, that's the Dell Viking Crip. What did I say here? Yeah, Crip Johnson, and does this say Chuck on it? No, it's the Phoebe says Charles Johnson, but of course it's Charles Jackson, but it's really Chuck Jackson, of course. He's the lead there, 1958. It's on Phoebe Records. Roulettes is the name of the tune. Let's continue here, as not much confusion with this next entry on the survey. Coming in at number 122 with 96 points, this great group out of Inglewood, New Jersey. They signed with B. Caslin's Hull label back in 1956. They would have 7 releases, I think, through 1962, but this is their 4th release. Came out in February of 58. It features Bob Lee on lead at number 122 on the survey. Let's give a listen to the Avons. The Avons on Hull. It's called What Will I Do, parentheses, If You Go Away, at number 122.
What will I do? What will I do?
What will I do?
What will I do
if you go away? What will I do?
What will I do
if you go to stay? Darling, don't leave me. Oh, what will I do if you should go? It would break my heart if it should end. Where else would I start? Darling, I love you. Oh, what will I do? Darling, I love you. Oh, can't you see? You're all the world to me. If you should know, it would break my heart. Please, please don't you go. What will I do? What will I do if you go away? What will I do? What will I do if you go to stay? Darling, don't leave me. Oh, what will I do? What will I do?
That's the sound of the Avalons here. The Avalons from February of 1958, coming in at number 122 on the survey. That's on B. Caslin's Hull record label, their 4th release, called What Will I Do, parentheses, If You Go Away. I'm checking my sheet here. Mike Sape, and I see that, let me see, What Will I Do at number 122 by the Avons. I have it at 96 points. What Will I Do? And it had 9 mentions and received 4% of the votes. That's what I have on my cheat sheet here, if that is correct. This is my cheat sheet that I was mailed in the mail. Unless that's not right. Maybe they sent another one out. I don't know. But, 59 points. I see. Okay, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and we just heard from the Avons. At number 121 with 97 points is this group originally from Washington, D.C. But the bass singer of the Heartbeats, and that would be Wally Roker, introduced them to George Goldner, and Goldner signed them to his N label. They would have 3 releases on the N label, and this is their debut single, written by then 17-year-old lead singer for the group, Van Allen McCoy, aka Van McCoy, coming in at number 121. This is from August of 1958, at number 121 on the survey with 97 points. The Starlighters. The Starlighters on End Records. The song is called It's 12 O'Clock.
It's 12 o'clock. The party's over. It's time to say good night, sleep tight. It's 12 o'clock. There will be a you'll stay right here, so very dear, here in my heart. Before I go to bed, I'll say a silent prayer that day by day I'm on my way closer to you. It's 12 o'clock. There will be a part. You'll stay right here, so very dear, even my heart. Here in my
Those are the Starlighters. The Starlighters there coming in at number 121 on the survey with 97 points. August 1958, their first of 3 on George Goldner's N record label. It's 12 O'Clock is the name of the tune. I remember when Greg sold me that 45, he wanted 300 for that record there, but I didn't have it. It's it doesn't really turn up that often, really, and when it does, it's not really clean, because I had a whipped copy that I picked up for 10 cents, but Spence sold it and got me decent money for the whipped copy, but paid $300 for that mint copy anyway. But actually, Van McCoy would go on to have a very successful successful career singing, writing, and producing. And I actually bought his number one single back in 1975. You know the song, The Hustle? Disco song, The Hustle? But I bought that 45 when it came out. It was unfortunate, though, that he died of a heart attack on July 6th of 1979. He was only 39 years old. Left us way too soon, but we remember him here on the Vinyltreasure show. Let's continue here at number 120. This had 10 mentions, and I also participated in the survey, and this was, I voted in the 1958 survey, and I think on the others too, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta go check and see if I can find them in my mess of files. But this was my number one selection for the 1958 survey, and we come in at 100 points here. Comes in at 100 points at number 120. This group from Brooklyn, New York, first recorded for the Treat label. They recorded under two different names, the Five Stars and also the Inspirators. Now in 1958 they signed with High Weiss's Old Town record label for their final release, and this tune written by the lead singer, his name is Cleo Perry. This one came out in June of 1958. This was my number one selection, the Inspirators. The Inspirators on the Old Town record label. The song is called Starlight Tonight.
Starlight, there's a million out tonight. There's a million stars in the sky tonight. They are there because I'm holding you tight. Yes, yes, darling, tonight. Oh, there'll be no one else for me but you. Cross my heart and I swear too that I am happy tonight. You are my gift from the one above. He sent me you to love. You are my queen, my every dream. Here, darling, where the swing. Oh, tonight. There's a million stars in the sky tonight. They are there because I'm holding you tight. Yes, yes, darling, tonight.
June 1958 release there for the Inspirators. Inspirators there, Cleo Perry on lead. That's on High Weiss's Old Town record label. He wrote that tune, song entitled Starlight Tonight. That was my number one selection of the 1958 survey, the Relic survey there. Let's continue here with number 119, this group from Newport News, Virginia. First recording for the RCA subsidiary Groove label back in 1956. Had 3 releases on the Groove label. Then in 1958, they had this one release that came out on Unart Records, was a subsidiary of United Artists. The song covered by so many artists, and this tune written by Carl Sigman and Robert Maxwell. I think it goes back, first recorded, maybe I'm wrong, in 1953 by Vic Damone. But this is coming in at number 119 with 101 points. And I just was looking at this thing. I'm going to add, when I do the next show, I'll be adding in this other information because it's interesting here on how many people voted for this record. This record had only, it had five mentions, but two people made this their second record on the survey. It had 4% of the votes. But anyway, it's a B-side too. I think it's a B-side, if I'm not mistaken. These are the Avalons. The Avalons coming in at 101 points with James Dozier on lead from December 58. The Avalons on Unart. Their rendition of the tune Ebb Tide.
First the tide rushes into our blessed kiss on the shores and goes out to sea, and the sea is very still once more. So I rush to your side like the all-coming tide, with one thought in mind. Will your heart open wide? At last we're face to face, and we kiss through an embrace. I can tell, oh, I can feel you are there. You are real, really mine. Whoa, in the rain, in the sun, oh, in the dark. I'm at peace in the web of your arms. At last we're face to face, and as we kiss through an embrace, I can tell, I can feel you are there. You are real, really mine.
There you go, coming in at number 119 on the survey. I heard Raphael Ingram's his voice in the background. He's an unmistakable voice, I'll say. But that's James Dozier on lead December 1958 on the Unart label with 101 points. Ebb Tide is the name of the tune. As we start to wind down here on the Monday afternoon show, I hope you're digging on the tunes. Tell your friends about the program, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's go back to Philadelphia, PA for entry number 118 on the survey, also with 101 points. This is on Artie Singer's Singular label. Now, some of you might own a copy of the first press of Danny and the Juniors at the Hop. It came out on the Singular label, but Artie Singer, he must have made a deal with Leonard Chess to press this 45 up to distribute the single, as they get distribution rights, that being Chess Records. But this group is called The Tops, T-O-P-S. The Tops, coming in at number 118 from March of 58 on Singular Records. The tune is called An Innocent Kiss.
My, oh my, oh my, an innocent kiss.
meant to be. I just never dreamed what a kiss could do to me. My, oh my, an innocent kiss, one that I could leave or take. That was really what I thought.
That's from March 1958, coming in at number 118. Those are the Tops out of Philadelphia on the Singular label, An Innocent Kiss. Great tune. I love that tune. Let's continue here. A couple more here before we sign off here for a Monday afternoon. Let's stay in Philadelphia with number 117. Received a number one vote from Eddie Birkin. Eddie Birkin of New York City. I think I used to buy records from Eddie, if I'm not mistaken. Got to check my files. I think he used to sell records, I think. But we heard earlier in the survey at number 290, their second release on the Ember label. That was Headin' for the Poorhouse, and entry number 139 today, their third release on Ember, Bing Bong, with poor sales of Bing Bong. Kay Williams, who was a DJ at WHAT, pulled the group from Ember Records and made a deal with Johnny Vincent. Johnny Vincent was the owner of Ace Records, and Ace Records was to market their next release nationally, while Kay would take care of the local Philadelphia or Pennsylvania residents, I should say. And this song, coming in at number 117, was first done back in 1946, I think by the Basin Street Boys on the exclusive label. But this rendition features Bill Horton on lead. This is the summertime of 1958. I'm featuring it on the Junior label, local to Pennsylvania, the Silhouettes on the Junior label, and their rendition of the tune, I Sold My Heart to the Junk Man.
I gave my heart to you, the one I trusted. You brought it back to me. I sold my heart to the junk man, and I'll never fall in love again.
drummer in a simple manner. Love played a leading part. We had such a happy ending, but we left with a broken heart. I gave my heart to you. I thought you could use it. You brought it back to me, all battered and bruised. I sold my heart to the junk man, and I'll never fall in love again.
As coming in at number 117 on the survey, those are the Silhouettes. The Silhouettes, Bill Horton and the Silhouettes there from the summer of 1958. Featured it on the Junior label, that is the local press to Pennsylvania. I Sold My Heart to the Junkman is the name of the tune. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show for a Monday afternoon. Thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to these cool records on the survey. I'm glad that I have them to present to you. You can actually see the original labels and whatnot. It's a lot of fun for me, hopefully for you too. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you have any requests, please send them to that address also, either for the Soul Show on Wednesday or next Saturday's show. You want to do that, and if I have the 45s, I'll feature them for you. But maybe we'll do a 78 show too here. I haven't played a 78 on these turntables yet. I'm worried about the skate thing. There was one negative on these Audio Technicas, and I think it was the skate mechanism that sometimes didn't work. But maybe if I'll have to check my the weight on the tone arm to make sure it goes up to at least 3 grams. It can't go higher than that. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the show. And thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. And we're going to close the show with number 116 on the survey. Came in with 103 points. This great group out of Harlem, New York. And the song was a number 1 selection for Ron James of Teaneck, New Jersey. Now, after the group left Bobby Robinson's Whirling Disc label, they signed with George Gollner's Gone label for 2 releases. This is their second on Gone. Of course, it features the great Earl Lewis on lead. These are the Channels. Our closer to this afternoon, the Channels coming in at number 116 from January 58 on Gone Records. It's called Altar of Love. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. It'll be up. I don't know how long it's going to take for the chat to get up, and maybe, let's hope, a few hours it'll be up, because maybe the shorter shows, they go up quicker. I don't know. But anyway, if not, you can go to my website, vinyltreasures.net, to stream or download the show there. Johnny G's got to go eat his lunch. I'll see you on Wednesday evening, some of you. If not, I'll see you on Saturday night with more requests out of the Johnny G collection. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
Altar of love, altar of love.
At the altar of love, we vow to be true. She said someday we'll marry, but she took someone new.
Someone new, just someone new, instead of you.
All her love words we said were lies from the start. Though she hurt me deep, I still love her with all my heart.
With all my heart.